Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about 6.7. We're going to be doing more applications of percents. You loved commission and sales tax so much that we're going to do a couple more. Yes, I've heard your demands and I'm going to answer them. I've heard your prayers and I'm going to answer them. Here's more applications. We're going to be talking about simple interest this time. Simple interest. Simple interest. First things first, you need to know what interest is. What interest is. So pause now, write this down. All right. So interest is a fee that's paid but for using the bank's money, or it's also received for saving money. So when you get older and you go to college and you start taking out these loans, these school loans for school, because you may not have all this thousands of dollars in your back pocket. Okay? So when you borrow that, if you borrow, let's say $5,000, you will end up paying back more than $5,000 because that bank is going to charge you what's called interest. On the flip side, when you start investing money so you can retire with later on in life, you get money for saving money. Okay? The money actually works for you. So if you deposit, let's say $5,000, in years later, you can pull out more money than that $5,000 because your money works for you. It works for you. That's great. Now there's something called simple interest. Simple interest. So pause the video, write all of this down. Make sure you write down everything, including the arrows, including what's up here, down here, so on and so forth. So write everything down on that slide. And go. All right, so simple interest is a type of fee paid for the use of money. It's a type of interest. There's another type that you can deal with, but we're going to deal with simple interest today. Your I stands for simple interest. You need to memorize the formula I equals P times R times T. Okay? Memorize it, learn it, love it, dream about it. Get a temporary tattoo, so you can't cheat on the test, but get a tattoo of this on your arm, okay? So that you remember that I equals P times R times T. So what does each of these mean, ladies and gentlemen? It means simple interest is my I. That's what my simple interest is. That is in money. It's dollar bill, y'all. Okay, then we have principal. That is also the money. Okay, that's the original amount that you invest. Rate is a percentage. Okay, if you use that percentage button on your calculator, that works. Otherwise, change it into a decimal. Okay, last but not least, time is in years. We have it in years, not months, not weeks, not days, not minutes or seconds or hours. It is in years. Okay, not light years. That's a speed. Okay, but it is in years. Okay, as you look at this, Jessica borrowed $15,000 for 3 years at a rate of 9%. We want to figure out how much interest she will pay after 3 years, then the total amount. So pause this and write down this slide, all of it. Write down everything you see there. As you're looking, look at the slide. Everybody look at this slide. Look. See that slide? It says Jessica at the top. Write it down and pause. Pause to write it down. And pause. Make sure you write it down. Write it down. Pause. Okay. So as you look at this, Jessica borrowed $15,000 for 3 years. That wonderful formula that you have burned into your brain is what? I equals P times R times T. Okay? It's simple interest, principal, rate, time. Now, we're figuring out how much interest. Figure out what you know first. Okay? What do each of these stand for? Okay? So, my interest, do I know how much interest I will have? No, I don't. It asks me right there, how much interest will she have? Okay, no. Principal, the original amount, 15,000. Rate is that's my percentage, 9% or 0.09. Okay? Time in years, 3 years. Okay? Plug this into the formula here. 15,000 in here, rate in here, time in here. So as I plug this in, I get I is equal to 15,000 times 0.09 times 3. Remember, I changed my rate, my percentage, I changed it into a decimal. Okay, and after you plug everything in, after you multiply, you will get I is equal to 4,050. Ooh, that is an ugly 4,050. It is. Let's try this again. 4050. 4,050. Interest is in what? Dollars. Now, as you are looking at this, what is the total amount she will repay? So if Jessica borrowed $15,000, do you think she's going to pay back just $4,050? No, the bank's not going to say, all right, here's 15 grand, just pay me $4,000 back, we'll call it even. No. Why? They wouldn't be in business. All right? I wish a bank would do that, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Okay? So as you do this, you have to take this 15,000, that original amount, and you add your interest on top of it. Your total is equal to your principal plus interest. Principal plus interest. When you add this, $19,050. So, what does this mean? After 3 years of borrowing that original $15,000, after 3 years you will repay $19,050. Nice. Okay, this time, again, write it down. Ladies and gentlemen, write it down. Eyes, write it down. Okay? And I want you to figure out what you know and plug it into your formula. Don't forget that formula you have burned into your brain. And go. All right? So what's that formula you have burned into your brain? I equals P times R times T. Figure out what we know. I, P, R, and T. Do we know our interest? 450. Do we know our principal? 6,000. Do we know our rate? 3%, or as a decimal, 0.03. Do we know our time? No, that's what we're trying to figure out. How long in time? Okay, plug in what you know. This goes here, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here. And when you solve or plug this into your equation, it should look 450 is equal to 6,000 times 0.03 times T. Okay, I plug in all of that information, Now I start simplifying. I need to simplify before I find my answer. So I simplify on the right side. 6,000 times 0.03. Take 6,000 times 0.03. When you do that, you will get 180. So 450 is equal to 180 T. Okay, 450 equals 180, 800, or 180. Now, as we do this problem, how do you solve for T? How do you get T all by itself? Inverse operations. Inverse operations. Inverse operations. How do you get rid of that 180? Divide by 180. T is equal to 2.5. What is my label? What is my label? Time's always in years. Don't forget it. Time is in years. All right? Awesome. Here's another one. Please write it down. Please write this one down. I want to see if you can figure this problem out on your own. So write this one down, pause the video, try it on your own. Okay? And go. All right. So it says John's parents deposited $1,000 into a savings account as a college fund when he was born. How much will John have in this account after 18 years at a yearly interest rate of 3.25%? Okay. So as I look at this, what's that formula burned into your brain? I equals P times R times T. Okay? Come up with what you know on the side here. What is my interest? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. We don't know our interest according to this problem. We're trying to figure out our interest. Principal. What was the initial amount deposited? $1,000. Interest rate. 3.2%. What is that as a decimal? 0.0325. And time. How many years? 18. 18. They put deposit it once he was born. Okay? So now let's figure this problem out. So plug in what you know. That goes in here, 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 and here. So we get I equals 1,000 times 0.0325 times 18. When you multiply all of those together, what do you come up with? I equals $585. 585. All right? Now, as you look at this, does John only have $585 in his account? No. We are trying to find what is the total amount. How much will he have at this amount when he turns 18? Well, you have to take that 1,000, my original amount, plus 585, and that turns into 1,585 after 18 years. He has that much in his account. All right? Awesome. Here we go. All right. I'm throwing this in to challenge you. Challenge problem. And I want to hear challenge accepted. So as we look at this problem, it says Mr. Johnson borrowed $8,000 for 4 years to make home improvements. If he repaid back a total of $10,320, at what interest rate did he borrow that money? Okay. Try to see if you can figure this problem out. Okay, using that same formula of I equals P times R times T. I'll give you a hint. 10,320 is not your interest. And go. All right? Trying to find I, P, R, T. We're trying to find our interest. So our interest, how much are we going to have? Well, if I repaid a total of $10,320, I borrowed an original $8,000. Okay, how much more over that $8,000 did I pay? Think about that last problem we just did where it turned into $1,585. Okay, that came from your interest added to your original amount. So in order to undo that, we need to take 10,320 minus 8,000. And my answer, 2,320. Okay, in interest, Mr. Johnson paid back 2,320. All right. So when you do this problem, we subtracted, we have our interest, now we can solve it. Okay? What is my principal? 8,000. Rate? I don't know. Time? 4 years. Plug in what we know. Here, 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 here. 2, 3, 2, 0 equals 8,000 times R times 4. Okay? As we look at this, simplify first. 2,320 equals 32,000 R. How do you solve for R all by itself? Well, you have to divide. Okay, divide by 32,000. Okay, so as you do this problem, after you divide here, what do you come up with? You get a decimal of 0.0725. Now, remember, that's our decimal. How do I change it from a decimal to a percentage? Because remember, our interest rate is in a percentage. Interest rate in a percentage. How do you change 0.0725 into a percent? You get 7.25%. And you're done. Finished, finito, end. That's my answer. All right? Awesome. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I know you were asking for more applications, and here it is. So if you have any questions, make sure you ask me later on. Again, have a great day. I will talk to you later. Bye.